A decision on one of the largest changes North Somerset has ever seen will be made on June 7th. North Somerset councillors will meet at the Town Hall to debate and decide on a draft devolution deal drawn up by 4 councils and the government. But what is it? Does it even matter? To start with, here's a bit of history. The devolution issue really came to the fore in September 2014. Voters in Scotland were preparing to decide whether the country should remain a part of the UK or go independent. The closer it got to the polls opening, the more concerned some political leaders were that Scotland would vote to leave. 2 days before the referendum, Prime Minister David Cameron and then Labour leader Ed Miliband and Liberal Democrat leader Nick Clegg pledged to give the Scottish Parliament extensive new powers. In effect, they would devolve the powers from Westminster and give Scotland more control over its own affairs. After Scotland voted to stay in the UK, the government declared it wanted to give more powers to city regions across the whole country. Greater Manchester went first. In November 2014, it was announced the city region would receive £1 billion worth of powers over transport, housing, planning and policing. The Chancellor announced the area would be run by a directly elected mayor, a bit like the Mayor of London. In July 2015, North Somerset Council's leader, Nigel Ashton, met up with the leaders at Bath and North East Somerset, South Gloucestershire and the Mayor of Bristol. They agreed to review how they were governed and to see how they could work together to get their own devolved powers from government. In September, they told the government they were interested, and the negotiations began. Chancellor George Osborne announced the deal at the budget in March. So what is the draft deal? If agreed, the new West of England city region would get £30 million a year from the government for 30 years. There are predictions the region could get more money from other funding streams, meaning this is about £1 million in investment. The area would also be run by a metro mayor, something which has proved more than a little controversial. The deal covers 4 main areas. Transport. The metro mayor would be in charge of a devolved budget, bus franchises and roads. Housing. The 4 areas will work together to draw up a housing plan, which covers all 4 areas from 2016 to 2036. Education. The region will have a complete control over adult education and will be involved in co-designing a national work and health programme. Trade and industry. Business rates would be used to fund infrastructure. There would also be a financial commitment for its enterprise zones, such as Junction 21 in Weston. But the Metro Mayor is where things get a little bit tricky. North Somerset Council's leader, Nigel Ashton, has opposed this since the beginning and says it would add too much bureaucracy. Although he signed the draft devolution agreement this year, he said in 2014, "I have not seen anything to suggest a combined authority with a Metro Mayor will gain us anything whatsoever." North Somerset Council will debate this issue at the Town Hall on June 7th. Documents produced by the council suggest it has 4 options. First, to approve the deal and continue to negotiate. Second, to reject the idea outright and withdraw from the process. Third, to decide the Metro Mayor proposal is unwarranted and then try to get a new deal but without a mayor. And finally, fourthly, to join another devolution area. But what happens if North Somerset says no and the other areas say yes? A devolution deal would still go ahead, but North Somerset would not be involved. A council document has warned this could mean North Somerset gets left behind when the government gives devolved areas grants and funding. It also says investors may not be as attracted to the area. Whatever happens next, the vote will have huge repercussions for North Somerset. The other councils will vote on June 29th, but North Somerset will go first, and the Western Mercury and North Somerset Times will bring you all the news as it happens on the day.
Created using Powtoon.